All right, so let's focus on a current problem, something that might affect many thousands of people come tomorrow, unless something changes overnight. Putco Bus Services telling us their buses will not be on the road. The disruption apparently due to an unpaid subsidy by the Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport. Putco is hoping that they can resolve this problem as soon as possible, but it certainly seems like it's now at the 11th hour. Let's speak to Putco Bus Service spokesperson Lindokuhle Xulu. Lindo, thank you so much for joining us. So, unless something dramatic happens in the next few hours, Putco buses will not be on the road. Talk to me about how many buses you're prepared to pull off the road, how many commuters this might affect.
Well, we are expecting that the entire passenger constituency will be affected by this. And this is because all of our buses, about 1,400, will be out of the roads. They will not be operating. This is mainly because of the fact that we do not have diesel. We were not able to purchase diesel at this stage because of subsidies that were not paid from March by government. So we can confirm that our buses will not be in operation tomorrow until further notice. We are hoping that engagements with government will be able to speed up the process of those subsidies being paid so that we can order diesel and that we can bring back the service.
How many people is this going to impact?
Well, we transport around 150 to 200,000 commuters daily. So those are the kinds of numbers we're looking at. And we tried really to find an amicable solution. We've been trying to engage with the Department of Roads and Transport in Gauteng over the past 2 weeks to tell them about this looming deadline that we've had as far as diesel is concerned. And unfortunately, it had to come to this. The engagements are still continuing, but the unfortunate reality goes back to saying that over 200,000 people will be left without transportation tomorrow, and we are hoping again that government will come to the party and be able to give us solutions.
How much money do they owe you, and what are they saying to you about why they're not paying it?
Well, we understand that the reason that they are not paying us is because of internal processes that really have not gotten approval for us to be able to get that money or subsidy claims that that are due to us. So that is the understanding at this stage. But we are engaging with them. We've been told that the subsidies will be paid, but at this stage we're sitting with reserves that and some of our tanks that have not been filled. So that's the reality. In terms of how much, it's something that I cannot divulge at this stage because of subsidies and how sensitive. It's a sensitive subject in terms of the revenue collection. But
why is it sensitive? I mean, I'd like to know.
It's a sensitive topic for us to be speaking about subsidies, and to be quite honest, I don't have those figures for all of our business
so
units.
You don't know.
But if But if you do want to get an understanding of the subsidies that we get, it is per kilometer, and it's around 40 to 45 rand per kilometer that we are given from subsidies. So you can do your calculation.
Can you no, not going to do that, not very good at maths, but can you tell me, I mean, does it account for sort of half your running costs? I mean, it sounds like it's crippling you if you don't get this money. The internal processes you've referred to, can you elaborate on that? I mean, I don't understand. Is it that they don't have the money to pay you, or is there another hitch? Can you give me more detail?
They do have the money to pay us. That is our understanding, but it's their internal processes in terms of the subsidy claims that we've submitted. We've submitted everything, but it is up to the department to get the necessary approval and therefore sign off that money for us to actually receive it. So that is the understanding that we have in terms of what the hiccup is. But I can certainly say that in terms of whether this is crippling us or not, we've always said that the bus industry has been underfunded for a very long time. Since 1997, we've been operating on a short-term basis as far as a year contract and 2-year contract, sometimes even 3-month contracts like we're operating now. So because of that underfunding, many bus companies are left destitute in terms of trying to operate. I can tell you that Putco is the latest company to come and not be able to operate, but there's certainly other companies, including some that are operating in the Northwest. And we do understand that tomorrow, as we start to actually stop our buses, there are other companies, about 2 of them that I know of, that will not be operating operating as of tomorrow. So that is the reality. The bus industry is underfunded, and it's something that needs to be sorted. Because
so the
you would ask,
same sort of subsidy problem. Sorry, I just want to check with those two other bus companies, similar subsidy problems. Okay, so this is not just going to be Putco. It's very likely to bring in other bus companies. The subsidy issue has not been resolved since March. So as it stands now, Putco's off the road tomorrow. But do talks continue overnight, Lindo?
Talks do continue telephonically and online. Yes, they continue. We are trying to find solutions. We're concerned about our passengers, but it's a matter really that will be sorted when we do get paid, so that we're able to fill those tanks and fill those buses so that they get back on the roads. But as things stand, we cannot do that. And like I said, Sally, it's a problem. It's an issue of underfunding of the bus industry. It's something that we've been looking at for a very long time. And it's not just a Putco issue. And I suspect that with the way things are going, there might be other companies joining in terms of not being able to operate.
All right, we'll certainly keep an eye on this. This is going to massively affect commuters in the economic heartland of South Africa. And thank you so much for that update. That is Lindokuhle Xulu. He's spokesperson for the Putco Bus Services. 1,400 buses are going to be off the road tomorrow. That's going to affect upward of 200,000 commuters. And he's warning that if the subsidy issue is not dealt with rapidly, other bus companies are going to be in the same position.